17 years into his career at 35 years old, Kevin Durant is he's still top 5 in scoring. His dominance on the court, it's impressive. But what struck me when we caught up in Indianapolis was just how at peace he seemed. And I've been lucky, right? I've gotten to interview Kevin Durant, I don't know, maybe a dozen times, mostly in Brooklyn when I was a beat writer. And it's always stood out to me, as I'm sure it has to you all at home. He replies to folks on social media. He really does seem to care deeply about certain criticisms. And honestly, I can't blame him. But this interview, it felt different, particularly when we talked about his future, how long he wants to play, if he's thinking about when he wants to hang him up, and if he envisions Phoenix being the last stop.
Kevin Durant, he is a stone-cold shot maker.
Step back, good! This is arguably the greatest scorer of all time.
You're 10th on the all-time scoring list. You will be passing Melo, Shaq, Wilt Chamberlain, and
it's
anything.
crazy, right?
It's kind of wild. When I say that, when you think back to when you were younger, could you have imagined being in this position?
I had that respect from the greats and the actual basketball players that put in the time and the work to make the NBA what it is. It's the reason why I get up to work every day.
AD matching the franchise record for the longest consecutive streak of 30-plus points.
You seem more settled. Since the last time we talked, you seem a little bit more like, it's not that you don't want to win, but it's, I don't know, there's something different.
Obviously, winning, I don't even have to think about that no more, because when I step on the floor, that's just in me already. I tend to think about the other detailed parts of the game that's going to help me get to the win. How to be a great teammate, how to inject myself into the game at different moments. I started to think about the small parts of the game, and that just made it more fun for me instead of thinking about the outcome all the time.
But does that make you more sort of at peace, it seems like, with all you've accomplished and your legacy as it stands, if everything ended right now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely want everything to just end right now, but I still feel like I got energy to play.
But for those waiting for Kevin Durant to slow down, Katie Trey is still a bucket.
I definitely feel older after some games, after some stretches.
Me too.
Being around for so long, you gain so much experience about the game. You see some of the other greats in other sports, Tom Brady's, the Cal Ripkins, and the Derek Jeters. These guys have played for such a long time, and you just get inspired by that and give as much back to the game as you can. And I think, when you become older, that's a part of it, is giving back and passing stuff down that you learned as well. So that goes on top of wanting to win, wanting to be the greatest that you can be. If you want to call it the back nine of my career, it just made it even more fun.
You were 50, 40, 90 last year, so I don't really see any reason why you couldn't play into your 40s. I mean,
yeah, I could catch and shoot a little bit, play a little defense, be a 3-and-D 6-man maybe when I'm in my 40s. We'll see.
Do you want to finish your career in Phoenix?
I mean, I've been on so many teams now, and I said this before. Right now, in this moment, today, without thinking about the next minute, yeah. But that's just saying right now, and I can't really predict what may happen, but I love playing in Phoenix. I love the fan base, the city. I've grown to understand what our mission is being in the Valley and how deep these people care about their team, So I started to understand the history of the Suns, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I want to go up in that ring of honor one day, so however long that takes.
I appreciated Kevin Durant's vulnerability there, although I'm not sure I can picture him as a 6-man, like he's saying, playing along.
No, not yet, no.
I mean,
Maybe a stretch forward.
Look, he's still a winning player by any measure.
Oh,
that's funny. I stretch forward. I'm tired. I just got that. These are his numbers. The Suns have won 58% of the games he's played in. And what's wild is that would actually be the lowest mark of KD's career.
Wow.
Second season.
That's crazy.
Durant's won at
least
60% of his games played in each of his previous.
You were the deciding factor, Perk?
And Perk was the deciding factor.
In all his wins, huh?
I'm just saying, first time he ever went to the finals, you know what I'm saying? He tested the waters with the big fella.
Well, I do know that currently he's still one of the best players in the league, and we see what
we're up here.
Yeah, we see what you're doing here in the studio on our little hoop that we got here. But it's kind of crazy that we still have questions about the Phoenix Suns. I know I picked them going to the NBA Finals in the preseason. I may or may not have a couple of reservations about that. But Perk, when you hear Kevin Durant talk about, today I feel like I'm going to retire as a Phoenix Sun, but don't hold me to that in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. How quickly do you think this window is closing for them?
I think it's 2 years, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I think it's based on the relationship with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And I think the question should be, how long do we see Devin Booker in the Phoenix Suns uniform, right? Because he was part of this organization that did go to the NBA Finals, and I believe none of those guys that were on that team are on that team right now. So when you think about it, when you have like this big three, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, you got to capitalize now. It's the same thing when we talk about teams like the Boston Celtics. When you have that window of opportunity, you can't wait till tomorrow because you don't know if you'll ever have tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised in the life and is not promised in the basketball world. So, you know, Kevin Durant, usually, I mean, we didn't see him move around quite a bit.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, and he owned that.
Yeah.
And that's why this season, I guess, becomes all the more important. How do you view that, Zach?
The window opened the minute they made the trade. It's an urgent window, and it will be a short window just because of Kevin Durant's age. And Bradley Beal just hasn't been healthy. They do not have the luxury of time. They do not have the luxury of patience. They traded everything they had to build this team, to turn over a finals team and make it into this. And here's their reality. They're 5th in the West as we enter the last part of the season. They have the hardest remaining schedule in the entire league. So if they're not healthy, if Bradley Beal misses more time, whatever it ends up being, just staying out of the play-in is going to be a fight for them. And even if they stay in 5th, the chances are that they're going to have to beat 3 of the top 4 teams in the West to get to the finals. That is a long, hard road, and they have not shown the consistency or availability to make you believe they can do that. Now, they still have time, and if they're healthy, they can beat anybody, but that is a tough road ahead.
I'm going to be more specific. I think that KD playing out his contract before he thinks elsewhere would work for him in Phoenix, meaning the next 2 seasons, not this season, you add 2 more, that is their window to win. And I don't think it gets better than having Devin Booker as a running mate, and I think that's what he really wanted to invest in. Those guys, when you pair those 2 up, they're true hoopers, and I think Bradley Beal, it's been tough coming back, starting the year slower, trying to acclimate him in real time and win this year. That's really challenging, and you look at the West. I mean, not only are the Nuggets the returning favorites, right? I mean, the Clippers are coming, and then you've got teams getting better like the Timberwolves and the Thunder. And so I don't think that maybe KD estimated that all those things would happen so soon. So I've got them playing out his contract before he looks elsewhere, especially given optics, unfortunately, are a part of his narrative, right? 3 teams in about 5 seasons, knowing that if this doesn't work out this year, they don't win, and then he's elsewhere. I don't think he's that type of guy.
Right, but that's what struck me as different, is that I don't know that he cares anymore. He seemed at peace with that. Yeah, if I move again, I move again. People are going to say what they're going to say, and that hasn't been the case in the past. We have kept receipts on where Kevin Durant has moved around
James
the NBA,
Harden,
and
a couple of folks,
we also keep receipts on ourselves on this show. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little look back, because the Suns, they have some title aspirations, but these are our preseason NBA Finals picks. Zach Lowe, you picked the Boston Celtics over the Denver Nuggets. Any changes?
Changes? Are we allowed to change? How many teams has Perk picked to make the finals in the last 2 seasons
That's
combined?
why we allow changes.
I am standing on business like Perk always says. I'm sticking with it. I'm going down with the ship, just like I did last year with my Bucks-Clippers pick that didn't work out. I like this pick. I'm sticking with it. I'm confident.
Well, Zach, you do know that you can own multiple businesses. So I can't switch up from one business to another. I'm switching mine up. Right, I had it wrong. I got the Bucks and the Suns. I'm going with Celtics, Clippers. Clippers winning in 7.
All right.
Okay, I'm not switching mine up completely, but I'm making a small tweak.
So you're switching it?
Just slightly. You know,
all right.
I still have the Nuggets winning. I think I had the Bucks before. I have the Celtics coming out of the East. So I'm going to go Nuggets over the Celtics.
All right, yeah, you had Nuggets, Bucks before. Zach, I'm coming over to your preseason side here. I'm going to go Nuggets,
Malika,
Celtics.
We're not going to talk about your preseasons yet.
2020. I was thinking it was going to be a 2021 Finals rematch. I'm not feeling so good about that. So I'm going to go Nuggets over Celtics.
Okay, we're on the same. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to give a nod. I'm going to give a nod to the champs here. All right.